Good afternoon, everybody. How are you doing? I hope you guys are doing good, and I hope you guys are doing fine. Well, it's another day, and welcome to another live session on my channel. My name is Elizabeth Akini, and what I have to talk about today is for anybody that wants to heal from the trauma of a toxic relationship, the things that you can do by yourself. There are things that you can do which you can actually make and happy. So I'll be talking about today self-care practices you can engage in to help you heal and bounce back after a toxic relationship. So that is what I'll be talking about today. So I'll be sharing my own experiences, all the things I did that helped me to heal when I was actually going through my healing stage. So that are the things I'll be talking about today. In when you're going through the healing stage, or let me just put it this way, when you are in a toxic relationship, you tend to get wounded. Most people just think about the physical and the emotional wounds, but it goes beyond that way. Sometimes you can be spiritually wounded, because I can remember myself then. I was actually broken emotionally, mentally, physically, and even in my spirit I was broken. Every part of me was broken, and maybe that was why I had a nervous breakdown back then. So a toxic relationship can actually break you emotionally, it can break you physically, and it can break you spiritually, depending on the severity of the abuse. One thing I tell people is that you living a toxic relationship does not really guarantee that you have to be healed. And because the way I see it, when you live a toxic relationship, it is the first step towards your healing. But that does not mean that the moment you've left them, everything is going to come to an end. No, there are some things you still need to do, because you've been through a very traumatic episode, something that is not so good. So those memories are still stored in your brain. It's stored in the some parts of your nervous system, and you need to re-regulate your nervous system. You need to reprogram your mind and the way you think and the way you see yourself, or else you will find that even though you're out of the relationship, you keep doing those things that your toxic partner has actually done to you. So that is the reason why it is important that after you've left a toxic relationship, you go for healing. And you have to engage in some things that will actually bring your healing. And one of them is actually engaging in self-care practices, the things that you can do by yourself, so that you will actually get your healing and you'll be back to your normal self again. So that is one of the reasons why self-care is quite important. You might go to see a therapist, you might seek the help of a professional, but there are some things you need to do by yourself, which will become a daily habit for you, which will actually fast track your healing. So those are those things I'll be talking about today. So I take them as things that can help you to heal your emotional, mental, or physical wounds, or sometimes your spiritual wounds. They are the things that can help you bounce back and rebuild your self-confidence, and at the same time it helps you to regain your self-esteem and make you to be sure of yourself again. So that's the way I see self-care, and the purpose of today's class is to empower you, to give you the right tools that will bring about your healing, and which will actually bring you to the path of emotional freedom. So what I'll be telling you guys today are the things you can that will actually make you powerful, so that you can actually have control over your life. So let's get to what we want to talk about today. But before I talk about that, I want to actually explain a little bit on what is self-care, because everybody has their own strategy of saying self-care. Some will say self-love, but I would say self-care is a subset of self-love. It's a part of self-love. Self-love is the whole package, but in it we have self-care. So that is how the whole thing looks like. So self-care is a subset of self-love. And self-care, to my own understanding, is the ability for you to engage in practices that will nourish your mind, nourish your mind, your body, and will also nourish your spirit. So they are the things you can engage in that will actually pamper you. So when we are talking about self-care and the aspects of after a toxic relationship, we are saying that those normal practices, those things you can actually imbibe into your culture, or those things you can actually do yourself, that will help to nourish you emotionally, that will help to nourish you physically, and will also help to nourish you mentally and also spiritually. So they enhance your growth. So that is what I see self-care to be. So it's a way of you taking good care of yourself, knowing that you come first in everything and that you need to be back to your normal self. So without wasting much of your time, so what are the self-care practices you can actually engage in after you've left the toxic relationship that will help you to bounce back from a toxic relationship? So I'll be talking about some things that I did. They are now my normal routine, they are my daily habits. So I'm going to break it into four parts. I'm going to break it into the emotional aspects, the physical aspects, the spiritual aspects, and the relational aspect. So I'll be breaking it into those four different segments, so that you would know that you don't really just have to take care of one part and leave the other parts. You have to incorporate every other part into it, so that your healing will be full. So let's move to the emotional and the mental part. What are the things that you can do that will help you to heal after you've been in through a toxic relationship? And the first thing I would actually suggest, and I will actually tell anybody to do, is you need to process the pain, everything that happened in the relationship, without you feeling guilt or shame. I want you to understand that it is not your fault that you went into a relationship with the wrong person. It is not your fault that you were in a toxic relationship. It could happen to anybody. So you don't have to judge yourself. Neither do you have to criticize or blame yourself for being in a toxic relationship. It could happen to anybody. It happened to me too. It could happen to another person tomorrow. So nobody is above the fact that anybody could be in a toxic relationship. So it is allowed for you to grieve that process, grieve everything you had to go through, cry even if you have to cry. Crying sometimes help. I remember that during that time, I am a kind of person, I don't cry. It's very, very difficult for me to cry, because I am somebody, I like to fix everybody's problem. I like to fix everybody's problem. So they all know me. Some of my friends call me Mrs. Smith. Some of them call me Woman of Steel, because I was always solving everybody's problem. Nobody knew my vulnerable side. Everybody knew me as being strong. So I have gotten used to the idea of being strong at all times, that I see crying as a sign of weakness. So I could not cry. But I actually remember that day when I couldn't sleep, and I had to listen to a meditation music on YouTube actually. And the music that I saw was meditation on self-love, with meditation music, and I started listening to it. And that day I cried for hours. I cried till I went back to sleep. And then when I woke up the next day, it was very funny, but I felt so much peace. I felt so much at ease. I felt like as if an heavy weight has been taken off my shoulders, and that I am no more carrying that heavy weight anymore. It was then I realized that I need to actually calm down. I have been trying to solve everybody's problem, but I am in a problem right now. Nobody is helping me out. Nobody is trying to help me solve my problem. I can remember all of my friends' disaster was all by myself. So you can imagine such a scenario. So I was all just by myself. So I had to learn to cry. So during that crying process, I was able to process my feelings. I was able to know what I was thinking, what I was thinking about myself, what my abuser has actually said about me. So I was able to differentiate every of those feelings. And by that time I had a journal. So I was able to write down everything I was feeling. So I was writing it down. This is what I was feeling. And I realized that this feeling does not belong to me. This is a perception that has been passed on to me and which I have actually accepted. So I started looking at who am I? What are my own thoughts? What do I think? What do I feel about myself? How do I see myself? So it was during this period of processing the whole pain without judging or blaming myself that I was able to come to that realization. So I'm telling you this today. The first thing you need to do is to process the pain, grieve the pain, cry if you need to cry, and journal out your feelings, whatever you might be feeling, journal it out. So the second thing you can do for yourself is for you to meditate. Up to today, I still meditate. I don't joke with meditation because meditation has a way of calming the mind, and at the same time, it helps you to pick your own thoughts and know the thoughts that do not belong to you. And it's a way to help flush out your, how would I call it? To flush out all that is in your mind so that new energy can actually come into you. So these are parts of the things I did, and it was really helpful. And up to today, if I wake up in the morning, if I don't meditate in a day, I don't feel complete. I don't feel whole because it has become a part and parcel of me. So another thing you can actually do is to listen to healing podcasts. Listen to healing podcasts. Any resources that will help you to heal your mind, that will help you to heal your soul and your spirit, listen to them. I still listen to some podcasts up to today. And like I mentioned some 2 weeks ago, yes, I mentioned some 2 weeks ago because I could not make a video last week. I was supposed to make a video last week, but I could not because I was really down. I was not feeling so well, and I had to look at it that my health is more important than anything right now. So I had to just postpone the video till today. So I had to postpone it to today. So in the video 2 weeks ago, I talked about some podcasts I was listening to, the crappy childhood theory and some other podcasts I was actually listening to, codependence mindsets and so many other things like that. I was listening to podcasts and it really helped shape my perspective. So you can actually listen to podcasts too. And another thing you can actually do is to read books. Make sure you read, engage in reading, search for resources, anything that has to do with your healing, with what you are going through, anything that will help you come out of it. Engage in it. Don't just leave the work to a therapist. That I have a therapist, I have a support group. Don't just leave it alone to them. Though I know, although they help, but you need to do some things for yourself that will help you to heal faster. And apart from that, I myself, I happen to be an healer because there's this healing practice I actually learned. We call it pranic healing. So we help to heal the energy body. We help to heal the soul. So it's one of those things I actually did for myself, which helped me to heal faster and come out of the trauma. And I was saying, even my therapist was even surprised that I could actually heal so fast with the level of the damage that was done to my mind. But she was just really surprised. But I like to tell her that you might be a therapist, but I myself am an healer. I am an healer. I am a pranic healer. And as a pranic healer, there are some things I can actually do that can help to heal my emotional health, heal my soul. And even if I can't even do it by myself, it's also need for me to pick up the phone and call some of my pranic healing friends and tell them, oh, I need healing. Can you do this healing for me? I'm not feeling well. And they will surely do it for me. And that was one of the things I did because I had and I was able to talk to them and they were able to help me in my healing journey. So that is what covers for the emotional part. So the things you can do for your emotional healing is for you to grieve the process without judging or blaming yourself. Cry if you need to. Journal down your thoughts. Make sure you meditate, read resources, get resources, read books, and at the same time, listen to healing podcasts. Make this thing your daily habit. Don't just do it once and stop. No, do make it your daily habits, make it a part of you. All these things I'm telling you, they are not a part of me. If I don't do them in a day, I don't feel complete, because I have imbibed them into my culture. I've made them to become a part of myself. So it is one of the things that help me to bounce back from any relationship that might not be healthy, and at the same time it helps me to how will I put it, to know, to be able to recognize the red flags early, so that I will actually disentangle myself, so before somebody begins to unleash their poison or their toxins on me. So that is that about that. Then let us move to the physical aspect. What are the physical things you can do physically that can help you to heal and bounce back from a toxic relationship? And the first thing I would actually recommend is, after a toxic relationship, make sure you sleep a lot. It is important. Make sure you get enough sleep, because your body has been through so much stress and so much strain and so much tension. So by sleeping, you tend to, I don't know I'm going to put it, but you tend to relax your body, and as a way of relaxation, the tension you might be feeling inside of you will be lessened by getting so much sleep. That is the first thing. Secondly, eat healthy. I beg you in the name of God, don't take junk food. Don't take unhealthy food. Make sure you eat healthy. If it is possible for you to cook in your own homemade meals which are healthy, please do. Don't just eat anything that comes into your mind. You need something that will help your body to be strong. You need to eat something that will help your body to be able to fight the pain and the trauma you're going through. So by not eating healthy, you are giving the body room to be weak. So, and you are what you eat. It is what you eat that defines who you are. So when you eat poorly, you look poorly. Everything about you, your body, your immune system is going to be poor. But when you eat healthy and rich, wow, it's going to have an effect on you. There's one thing I will always say: I don't joke with my stomach. Everybody knows me. I don't joke with my stomach. I make sure I eat a lot. I eat well. I don't just eat anyhow food. And I love to cook my food in my home. So it is not everybody that can actually love to cook, because I love to cook. But no matter what it is, make sure that what you're going to eat is healthy. Another thing you can do is make sure you do some exercises every morning. If you're going to go for a walk, go for a walk. If you're going to go for a workout, go for a workout. It is not compulsory that you have to work out for 3-4 hours a day. If it's, you can actually only work out for 10 minutes a day, and it will be consistent. It has to be consistent. It has to be something that is you will be able to do continually. If you can do that every day for 10 minutes, it is going to have a much more greater effect than doing some exercise for like 2-3 hours, and in the next 2 weeks, that is when you will be able to do another exercise. It doesn't make sense. It's not consistent. You won't get any results by that. So even if it's 10 minutes per day, even if it's 15 minutes per day, but you make it consistent every day, it is going to have an effect on your health every day. If you try this, I know you will come back to thank me later. So it is better to be consistent. It's better for you to take baby steps and for it to be consistent than for you to take huge steps and for you to do it today. In the next 5 weeks, that is when you do it. It's not going to yield any results. So it's not going to use any result. Another thing you can actually do is yoga. I love yoga. I love yoga. I love doing yoga because yoga helps me to relax. And apart from that, it brings about this union in within of me. I feel centered. So even if my thoughts are scattered, by the time I finish with yoga, I will find out that my thoughts are in one place. And yoga was one of the things that really helped me to heal during my healing stage. It was really helpful. So by doing yoga every day, if it is every day, no problem. If it is 3 times in a week, no problem. If it is 4 times in a week, no problem. As far as you are going to enjoy something you have to enjoy. And at the same time, it is something that has to be consistent. You know, when I wanted to start yoga, I was like, will I be able to do it? Will I be able to do it? So I didn't even know what I was going to do. But luckily, we have YouTube. We have YouTube. We have a lot of videos on YouTube. And one of the people that really helped me in my yoga practices was Yoga with Cassandra. She was really helpful. She was really helpful because I really learned a lot by doing yoga with her, watching her yoga classes. It's really helped me, and up to today I still watch Cassandra. I can't just do it without watching her videos because they have an impact on me. So if you want to do yoga and you don't know where exactly to stand from, so I would recommend a channel to you, Yoga with Cassandra. You can go out, you'll find a lot of videos there that will help you. We have the beginner stage, the intermediate stage, the advanced stage. You will find all of them there. So whatever stage you want to start from, you can just go to her and you will find it there. So that is for the part of when we talk of the things you can do physically. So I'm going to recap on that. You need to take a lot of sleep. You need to eat well. You need to drink a lot of water. You need to do exercises and make it consistent. And at the same time, you need to do some yoga. So they are everyday practices. They are not things that are so hard. They are things that you can do for yourself even without anybody telling you. So the next step we are going to move into, it is the relational self-care practice. And this is just one. Set boundaries. I beg you in the name of God. Don't just say, I will not do it. People will say, I mean, you don't, who cares what anybody says? What matters is how you feel. Please set boundaries. Walk away from anything that will displease you, anything that will disrespect you, anything that will hurt you. Please walk away. Learn to say no. Learn to say no. Stop this people's pleasing. Stop saying people are going to say I'm a wicked person. People are going to say I'm a mean person. It does not matter what anybody says. What matters is how exactly do you feel? So you need to set boundaries. I will say it and I will say it again. Please set boundaries. It's a way to protect yourself. It is a way to take care of yourself. It is one of the self-care practices I will always tell some of my clients. If they come to me for coaching, I will tell them, please set boundaries. It's like as if I'm even begging. Please set that boundary. And I'm telling you guys today, set boundaries. Don't just say, oh, it's my dad, it's my mom, it's my brother, it's my sister, they are my relatives. You know, the funniest part of all is that this is the family that tends to abuse you a lot. Because you'll be looking at it from the perspective that they are my family, I don't have to set boundaries with them, but they keep abusing you. So when your family member continues to abuse you, disrespect you, will not actually respect your boundary, you need to actually enforce that boundary, even if it's going to hurt them. You need to enforce that boundary because you come first and your peace of mind comes first. And when you know that your peace of mind, it comes first, then any other person apart from you is a second choice. So set those boundaries. So I'm begging you guys, please set the boundaries. So the last thing you can actually do, we are moving to the last segment, and that is the spiritual aspect. I will always tell people the therapists can do their own, the clinical psychologists can do their own, but the person who really heals is God. So you need to pray. Pray. Don't just say prayer doesn't work. Prayer works. When I was actually sick, when I had my nervous breakdown, I learned to pray because prayer worked. Prayer really worked for me. It was not me that even started the prayer. It was my family members that started the prayer for me because I was in a very bad state. Prayer worked for me. I had to pray. I'm somebody, I believe in God. And apart from that, I'm a Christian. I'm a practicing Christian. And I have a one-on-one relationship with God. Apart from being a Christian, I actually am somebody, I have read a little bit of other people's religion, like Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism. So I know a little bit of all those aspects of those religion. And I know one thing for sure, that Religion might actually divide us, but we are all the same thing. We are all the same thing before the presence of God. So that's why I tell people, religion might divide us, but spiritually we are all one. So I'm a kind of a person, I believe in Jesus. I believe as the Son of God, and I am a true believer of everything that He speaks about. So I prayed. I learned to pray. I prayed. I prayed. I prayed. I prayed. I prayed. Prayer works. If you know, if you know you want to have your healing, you need to learn how to pray. You need to tell God, this is where it hurts me. This is where I am feeling pain. And God hears, and God will surely heal you. It might not come in the form of an angel coming down, pouring healing energy all over your head, but it might come through God, or be through your friends. It might come through the therapist. It might come through different channels you cannot see, because I believe in one thing: when God wants to do something, it does not come down from heaven to do it. It is men, people like you, people like me, He is going to use to help you to give answers to all your prayers. So when you start praying for God to heal you, expect that He's going to send a man or a woman to you who is going to help you to heal. And it might even be just listening to a podcast, it might be just watching a video, and you will find out that you I had, see, when I prayed, I had a lot of resources. I, especially Dr. Ramani, I listened a lot to Dr. Ramani back then, and everything she said was really, really helpful for me. It really was really helpful. Although I had a therapist, but that did not stop me from listening to different people, talking to God, and engaging in prayer. And another self-care practice, self spiritual practice, you need to find your joy. You know, the most important thing in this life is joy. When there's no more joy in your life, you find out that your strength begins to diminish. And that's the truth. Because even the Bible says that the joy of the Lord is my strength. So in joy, then there is strength, because joy is the atmosphere for creativity. Joy is the atmosphere for beautiful things to happen. Joy is the atmosphere for your strength. It is when you are joyful that is when you can have strength. Because when there's no strength, joy in you, your strength begins to diminish, and when your strength diminish, it will be very difficult for you to do things. So you need to guard the little joy that is left in you. So you need to guard this. So those are the things you can do spiritually that can help you to heal after a toxic relationship. So I've broken it down to everybody: the emotional parts, the physical parts, the relationship parts, and the spiritual parts. I hope you've gotten value for money, for your time. Sorry, I hope you've gotten value for your time. And there's also one thing I am actually going to say, and that is that how will I even hold it? That it is not what happens to you that defines who you are. It is not what happens to you that defines what you're going to be, but how you react to whatever happens to you. Every now and then, people will have to go through a toxic relationship. You would have to go through an heartbreak. But the way you react to that trauma, the way you react to that pain, will determine how long you will stay in it and how long you will move out of it. So if you go through trauma and you see yourself as the victim, you see yourself as the victim of circumstances, putting the blame on somebody else, putting the blame on circumstances, putting the blame on people, it's going to take a long time before you can actually come out and be healed. But when you take responsibility for your healing and understand that whatever has happened, and that you are responsible for your healing, you will find out that in no time you will come out of that pain or that trauma you might be going through. So everything now has to do with how you see things. Everything has to do with how you take care of things. So if you look at things from a positive dimension, it's going to end up positive. If you look at it from a negative dimension, it's going to be negative. So if you're thinking that you are a victim, then that's how it's going to be. You're going to end up becoming thinking like the victim, acting like the victim, and that is not going to bring about your healing. It's not going to make you become the happy, fulfilled person that you want to be. So in all this, I would tell people, no matter what you have been through, you have to be responsible for your own happiness. It is not what happens to you that matters, but it is how you react to it that really matters. That is what is the most important thing. Some people, because somebody has hurt them, they stay miserable for 1, 2, 3, 4 years, putting the blame on the other person, not moving forward, not knowing that it's time for them to move forward. Fine, whatever has happened. You need to move on. You don't just have to stay there and say it is because one person did this to me. That's the reason why I am in this position. There's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I can do to change the situation. Who are you kidding? It's just the damn truth. Who are you kidding? You're not kidding anybody, but you're kidding yourself. You need to understand that you are responsible for your happiness. You are responsible for your healing. If you don't take the first step towards your healing by going to a therapist, who is going to help you do that? If you don't take the first step of actually engaging in practices, who is going to help you to do that? You see, one of the things that helped me to heal so fast was because I made up my mind that I may have fallen into this hole, but I'm not going to stay so long in this hole. I'm coming out of this hole, but that I'm not, this is not where I'm supposed to be. I made up my mind that I was going to come out of it. And indeed, I did come out of it, which was really a surprise to everybody, because from what the therapist said, he said it's going to take a very long time before I could come out of this. Even if I am actually back to my normal self, it's going to take a very long time. Blah. And she was surprised. When everything happened so fast, it was like, what happened? What did I do? And I told her it's the power of determination. Apart from the fact that I had panic killers all around me, I was determined in my mind that I may have been broken, but I'm not going to stay broken for long. I am going to come out of this. I am going to be better. I am going to be stronger. And I'm going to use this as a medium to help other people. And that is why you see me sitting here today talking to you. That is what made me a coach. And that is what is making me to go through the transformatory process of becoming a therapist. So that is, and I know I don't know, my course, before I finish my course, is still going to be close to the end of the year. But once I'm through, when I'm finished with my course, I will let you guys know. But for now, I'm still home with it. So that is what I'm going to tell you today. So that is the takeaway I'm giving to you today. It is your responsibility to make yourself happy. It is your responsibility to heal after you left a toxic relationship. Don't put the blame on your ex-toxic partner for whatever happened, and don't put the blame on yourself. It could happen to anybody, but it is your responsibility from then henceforth not to fall into a toxic relationship again. It is your responsibility to stay happy and healthy. So that is what I'm going to talk about to you today. So I hope you've gotten value for everything I have said so far, for the time you've spent with me. Wow. It's been 33 minutes. I've been talking for 33 minutes. Wow, you can just imagine. So I've been talking for 33 minutes now, and I hope you've gotten value for your time. If you like what I've said so far, I want you to hit the like button and like this video, and also share this video with somebody who might need it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the subscribe button, and turn on the notification bell to get new updates when I make a new video. So in the comment section, I want you to tell me, what is your biggest takeaway in everything I've said so far today? And what do you want me to improve on? What do you want me to improve on? What do you want me to talk about? What topics do you want me to talk about? I would love to hear everything you have to say in the comment section. So it's nice seeing every one of you. It's nice talking to every one of you. Thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you. Thank you. I love you guys. And for all of you who have not subscribed and saying it again, what are you waiting for? You're watching my video. Don't just watch my video alone. Make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell. So thank you guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.